Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am going to be talking about the Get Down, which is, and specifically within the Get Down, Crucitools, which are objects that are specific, really specific, distinct objects, tools that are needed in order to do an occupation. So let me talk about the Get Down real quick. So I have talked about the Get Down in previous videos, but I don't want you to have to see that. So the Get Down is a 2016 series put on by Netflix, and it's like six episodes, about an hour long each, and it covers the death of disco and the rise of rap in the late 70s in the Bronx. Right? It's a very flawed piece of art. It has some serious issues with it, but it also shines bright in some really distinct areas. The characters are extremely strong, the way they're written. The plot is really good. Presenting a historical period in a way that is compelling to watch is really distinctly great, right? So it's a piece of art I'm really fascinated with. And so I wanted to talk about Crucitools. Well, what are Crucitools? A Crucitool is a word I am using. It is, I am coining this term for a specific set of tools that you need in order to be a specific thing, particularly a role within an occupation. So an absolutely perfect example of Crucitools is the katana and the wakizashi. So these are Japanese swords, and if you had these swords, you could be a samurai or a ronin. But without these tools, you absolutely could not be a samurai or a ronin, right? They were part of what it meant to be a samurai, right? And one of the reasons why I'm talking about this in connection to the Get Down is they presented the Crucitools being two turntables and a mixer, right? So this character in the Get Down, Shaolin Fantastic, wants to be a mix master. Well, by wanting to be a mix master, he absolutely needs to have two turntables and a mixer. And a large portion of the show actually focuses around him getting these two turntables and a mixer. So he's from the Bronx. He is generally poor, and two turntables and a mixer can cost anywhere from like $600 all the way up to $1,200, and that's in late 1970s US dollars. That's expensive. So they were rare. He couldn't just buy them outright with cash. He actually got two turntables and a mixer, and they were destroyed in a fire. So he had to get them again. And the reason why is, without two turntables and a mixer, you could not be a mix master. But with these tools, you can do a job that other people cannot do, right? So one of the things that is actually a representation of a term called a barrier to market, right? So it is hard to be a mix master because you need these tools. Not anyone can do it, right? So like if you want to be a woodcutter, you can have, you just need an axe or a hatchet or a saw. These are very easy tools to get. And you could go out or even if you wanted to be a wood gatherer, you would just need your own hands, so there's all these jobs where you don't need these specific tools, but there are very distinct jobs where you need these distinct tools. And so I was just thinking about this, jobs where you need these distinct tools to be this distinct thing, right? So some examples would be if you wanted to be a commercial tuna fisher, a commercial tuna fisher, right? So you fish for tuna. You need a tuna fishing boat, right? Something with a large hold, with nets, all that kind of thing. And that's expensive. It's difficult to get, but once you get it, and you can maintain it, if you can maintain it, you can be that thing for decades, right? you can employ multiple other people, right? Another one would be a developer. So today, if you want to be a developer or a coder, you absolutely need a computer, right? And internet access. So you need an internet accessible, an internet capable computer, right? You absolutely need that thing. So one of the things that I was thinking about with these occupations that require Crucitools, these tools that are absolutely crucial to doing the job, that you kind of have to go through a crucible to get these tools. I was really thinking about these occupations, right? And I think one thing to understand about these occupations that you need these Crucitools for is, one, they're generally attractive to people because there's a level of prestige that comes with being able to be that thing that it is hard for other people to be, right? I definitely see this today with developers. It is very, it's hard to be a developer, and they are top of the internet technology hierarchy, right? Samurai absolutely held an incredible position within their culture. Fishermen, I think, some people might not hold them in high esteem, but if you go to Maine, right, they're highly respected, right? And then also, surely, the mix master was highly respected in the 70s and 80s. But that brings up another point. All of these jobs, any job that requires a Crucitool, I feel like those jobs are generally going to go away, right? Now, here's the kicker. They're going to go away in a matter of years. They're going to go away in a matter of decades, or they might go away in a matter of centuries, right? But they're going to go away. And the reason why is those tools are going to become cheap. And even beyond that, those roles may be broken down into its base elements, and more than one person might do those roles, right? So that's one thing, is I think these kind of Crucitool occupations, the ones that require these Crucitools, they're attractive and they attract people to do them, but they're also like essentially doomed to be to end at a certain time, right? Far more so than jobs that anybody can do, or jobs that do not require one specific tool, where there's multiple approaches to doing that job, right? So really, I just seeing the Get Down and seeing how important the two turntables and a mixer were to this character, and how, and like the relationship with Shaolin Fantastic to his turntables and his mixer, the relationship of Grandmaster Flash and his, the relationship of Grandmaster Flash to his equipment was really, really interesting to me, and just how important they were to them, how they would have to spend hours and hours and hours mastering how to use these tools, and how these tools really differentiated them from people who didn't have those tools, because it allowed them to do things that no one else could do, and the thing that a mixmaster could do is they could control a party, right? They could hold a party, and they could make that party distinct and enjoyable because they had large, they were able to link all this music together. There wasn't any dip between the songs, and it really made a different type of party than had ever existed before. So, it's just really interesting. And so also, there's like phases for this. Is when these tools come out, they might be crude, but then when they become more proficient, and then you see people who have really mastered these tools, you get to see those roles executing at a level that has never been executed upon before. Really, really interesting. So I was really just fascinated by this show. The other thing that I think is really interesting too is the Get Down talked about two performers within rap. They talked about the mixmaster, the DJ, and they also talked about the wordsmith, the rapper, right? And actually, the rapper does not need a specific piece of technology. You can write your rhymes on a piece of paper and a pen. You could scrawl them on a wall, with chalk. You don't need, 2 turntables and a mixer to be a rapper, right? You just need your voice and your mind, right? And what's fascinating is there really aren't any mix masters now. Like, Mixmaster is just, it's an app. It's just, it's a piece of functionality on a piece of software, right? Whereas the rapper is irreplaceable, which is really fascinating. I think if you had thought about it back in the late 70s, the Mixmaster was preeminent and the wordsmith was in the background, and now that's switched, that's flipped, right? So that's really, really interesting. Still really thinking about the Get Down, really thought-provoking piece of art. Really still thinking about the graffiti in there, the way they dealt with graffiti, all those kind of things. But it really made me think of Crucitools, tools that are necessary to do an occupation. Thank you.